Stop number 6 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, Tennessee. If you want 75 laps of short track madness, you got it. As we're here today for the running of the Food City 500, the first of 3 straight races on a short track. Going to be a great race here today. Here's the start lineup for today's running event. On the pole for the second time this season, Quentin Moore in the Quaker State Buick, car number 26. He has the pole for this event here today. He'll be alongside another green car. It's another Buick, too. It's Zach Rogers, a 33 Skull Bandit Buick. Second row has Charles Sanford in 24, the DuPont Chevrolet, and number 52, Seth Cole in the Eureka Pontiac. Third row will have car number 2, Dylan Young in the JD Stacey Buick. He'll be alongside this Buckstone Oldsmobile car 71 of Cab Shearer. Fourth row has Kyle Matthews, car 42, the Mellow Yellow Pontiac. He'll be alongside Dylan Poteet in 22, the Miller American Buick. Going to row number 5, we have Keith Batson, one of our 3 in-car cameras into this event here today. It's Texaco Haviland Ford, car number 28. He'll be alongside car number 1. It is Zach Winkle in the Uno Buick. He won this season in the Daytona 500. Going to the 6th row, we'll have Jessica Shelton in car number 9, of course, Melling Ford. She won the first short track race of the season at Richmond. She'll be alongside Manuel Harden in car 83 that wins Kmart Oldsmobile. Next row down has Cole Deaver in the GM Goodman Chevrolet car number 3. He won the season at Rockingham. He'll be alongside car 43, the King Richard Petty Pontiac of Mike Becker, the STP Pontiac. 2 of the most iconic numbers in NASCAR on the same row. Next row down is Jesse Turner, number 90, the Red Baron Frozen Pizza Ford. He'll be alongside car number 29. It is Zachary Fitzwater. He has our second in-car camera, the Hardee's Oldsmobile. Next row down has our third in-car camera, Kat Batson in the Purelator Ford, car number 21. She'll be alongside car 50, the winner this season at Atlanta. It is Jean Stanford driving her Pontiac. Next row down has car number 18. It is Matt McIntyre in the Interstate Barriers Chevrolet. He'll be alongside car number 30, the Country Time Pontiac. It is Jay Jefferson. Jefferson nearly won down in Darlington the last race on the tour, but got snubbed in the last lap. Next row down, Joshua Osborne in 25, the Folgers Chevrolet, and number 47 Raysdale Farms Buick of Nathan Hudson is alongside. Next row down, Johnny Gardner in car number 11, the Mountain Dew Buick. He'll be alongside car number 14, Kyle Langland in the Copenhagen Oldsmobile. Next row down has car number 5, Bill Parker in the Levi Garrett Chevrolet. He'll be alongside car number 55, Henry Samper in the Copenhagen Chevrolet. A lot of 5s in that row. Next row down is Wes McCoy in car number 7, the Xerox Antifreeze Ford. Alongside of him, Alex Miller in car 51, the Valvoline Oldsmobile. Next row down has R.J. Bishop in car 27, the Kodiak Pontiac, and number 94, Ryan Brommer in the Sunoco Ultra Oldsmobile. Next row down is car number 8, Matt Haas in the Miller American Buick. And number 13, it is Austin Colano in a seat in the Carolina Tools Ford. Next row down as Jackson Haywood in car 15, the Wrangler Jeans Ford, and number 88, Nathan Ormond at the wheel of his Gatorade Buick. Next row down is Mitchell Collins in car number 70, the Sons Bedford Speed Pontiac, and number 75, Daniel Bouchard, and number 7 in the Valvoline Pontiac. Next row down, Levi McIntyre coming from way back in the Tide Chevrolet, car number 17. He'll be alongside car 6, the Stroke Light Ford of Paul Minnick. Next row down is number 4, William Brock in the Kodak Film Oldsmobile, and number 44, JD Stacey Buick of Ryan George. And starting shotgun and field will be car number 12, Rob Evans at the wheel of the Budweiser Chevrolet. He won that race down in Darlington. He was the one that snubbed Jay Jefferson on the last lap down in Darlington and won that race. Actually, Jefferson got snubbed when a lap car got in his way and cost him the race coming off turn number 4, and Evans got by him for the win that day. So Jefferson, I'm sure, is still stinging from that too. So I'm sure Jefferson obviously would like to win a race between now and the end of the season to kind of get redemption. And I'm sure he'd perfectly like to have it at Darlington when we come back there for the Southern 500. So the field is getting set for green flag racing here. Here comes the fire engines for the Food City 500.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Command given the fire engines as we get set for racing here today. Quentin Moore, the Quaker State Buick, has the pole for this event here, qualified at 127 miles an hour. And of course, they said Quentin's got. And of course, the 2016 has got quite a short track set up under the hood of that car. We hear as it qualified pole, was fast in practice, fast in happy hour. It's been dominant so far. Can it dominate the 75 ups on its way to victory? Well, that remains to be seen, and we'll find out as the race goes on. Field comes on to number 4 here. Pace car ducks off on the pit road. It is the pair of Buicks on the pole on the front rows. Quentin Moore in 26, Zach Rogers in 33. As the green flag flies and the Food City 500 is on, we're racing at Bristol. Charles Sanford goes into second position. Sanford, a former winner here in this racetrack himself. Dylan Young will go to third. Kyle Matthews to fourth. As Quentin Moore leads the first lap of the race. Mentioned in-car cameras again will be carried by Zachary Fitzwater, and both the Batsons, Keith and Kat, will carry the in-car cameras into this event here today. Kyle Matthews goes to fourth, Keith Batson to fifth, Jessica Shelton to sixth. Seventh is Cole Deaver. Zach Winkle trying to push Deaver by Shelton, and he will do so. And Shelton not only loses the seventh and sixth position, but lost the spot to Zach Winkle as well as the first caution flag flies. And Austin Colano in car number 13. And Kat Batson has crashed as well, so has... We saw Kyle Langland and Jesse Turner, as well as Batson, who started this race about middle of the pack, though. She gets involved in the first crash of the day. Crash apparently all started to come off turn number 2 as Austin Colano, take a look at what happened to him. See, William Brock and Ryan George got together. So did Ryan Brommer and Nathan Ormond. But Colano got the fuzzy into that lollipop as he goes for a little spin around the backstretch. Turn 2 will be a pretty big trouble spot too. Usually it is at Bristol in this series at least, but Colano gets the car puts back in gear and then gets her started. And Kyle Langland actually ended up on his side. And actually, I saw a couple of other cars flip too. And this started in turn 2 as well. Jesse Turner was free ride between he, Cab Shearer, and Seth Cole. Jesse tried to squeeze both Kev and Seth, and then he saves the car right here, but now watch what happens if he goes into turn 3. He'll end up alongside Kat Batson in 21. Goes up the track right into Kat Batson, just stuffs her in the wall. Oh my goodness, and both cars way up in the air. Batson ends up upside down and flipping, and now watch Kyle Langland in the 14. He's going to... And he wall rides, catch fence rides, I think, too. And Nathan Ormond's involved as well in the 88 car. So, as we mentioned, Alex Miller and the 90 car, Jesse Turner, who basically started this crash pretty much. And you see both Batson and Langland end up on all fours, but the damage is pretty much already done. I might get a game crash on this one, but let's take a ride on board with Kat Batson on this one. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is. That's what it's like. I mean, if that had been a real life crash, if you'd have been up in there like that at Bristol, you would have been seriously injured, possibly, or if not, if even that. But I mean, that is just an indication of how safe these cars are. And I don't know how Cat Batson is actually still going, to be honest, too. There is the 13 of Austin Clown. He'll start inside of Quentin Moore, who leads the race here. Second position is Charles Sanford. Third, as we mentioned, is Dylan Young. Fourth position right now is Keith Batson. Fifth is Cole Deaver. Sixth is Zach Winkle. Jessica Shelton, seventh. Then Kev Shearer, Zach Rogers, and Seth Cole, the top 10. Green flag back out. We're back underway. Here, Bristol, let's take a look at. We'll keep an eye on the lap cars to see how much of a nuisance they probably may be. Sometimes they are, and they'll end up alongside Zach Winkle and Jessica Shelton. Into the third turn they come here. Colano now sandwiched in between Shelton and Zach Winkle as they go into turn number 1. Shelton will say, screw it, and I'm going to go inside, and then she'll go by Colano, excuse me, and Cap has his turn again! And a big crash coming through in turns 3 and 4. And that's going to bring out caution number 2 here in this event. Take a look as to what happened here. Cat Batson got squeezed by Seth Cole in the 52, and again, him and Kev Shearer were the centerpiece of this whole thing too. So Everco's doing a good job getting avoiding this crash here. Kev Shearer kind of bulldozing the 21 a bit there. There's where boom, Mike Becker gets involved in the 43 car. He and Shearer, and then Dana Bouchard gets involved. Rob Evans. There's where everybody else just gets all piled in right there. There's 44 of Ryan George comes to a stop. Alex Miller, Levi McIntyre, and the 47 car of Nathan Hudson do a pretty good job getting through the crash. Well, Cat Batson and Zachary Fitzwater had both of our in-car cameras in it. Let's take ride once again with Cat Batson. It's kind of a shame that so far both of her in-car camera footages, and she's crashed both times. And Kat, I'm sure, pretty frustrated that while she's trying to get her car started back up, thinking this cannot get worse. And from Zachary Fitzwater's view, so Fitzwater, that drops him back to 34th position here, and there you see this, and boy, a lot of hood buckles here already at Bristol, and we are not even 15 laps into this race here. This is going to be a long race without question on this half mile at Bristol. Pace car ducks off on the pit road as we get set for green flag racing. Quentin Moore continues to lead here the race here as the 13 of Austin Colano and the 21 of Cat Batson. And the inside again, Joshua Osborne way down the inside of the track here. And this is not going to be pretty coming out that fourth turn. Matt McIntyre gets sideways coming off the fourth corner as he, Poteet, and Shelton battle for position as they come off turn number 2. Trying to get out of the way of the lap cars here, and that's not as easy said than done here. And Osborne almost stuffed Shelton in the wall. Come up turn number 2. 3 wide off the second turn. You don't do that at Bristol, and they somehow made it through. Well, this proves all along how brutal Bristol is to some drivers here as they come up. And Batson almost turned again! That was almost the third crash he was in. And now she decides to troll the 33 car, Zach Rogers, and actually Rogers just pushes, bats it up ahead of Shelton, and a bad crash off the turn number 1. And it's the 13 car of Austin Colano in the 13 car. It's crashed. And Henry Sanford and Joshua Osborne got both spun as well. So third caution flag flies on lap number 20 of this event. And what caused the melee in the first place? Yeah, there it was where it was William Brock, Joshua Osborne, and the 13 of Austin Colano that started this whole melee. Osborne ends up bulldozing the 4 car. There's where Shelton and Daniel Bouchard got tangled up. 33 is Zach Rogers. He gets turned around. Several cars. Everybody gets on the binders and hard on the brakes to try to miss the whole melee, but boy, are we even going to get a green flag run here the way this is going here? That's going to be a big question right there. Quentin Moore, through all this, is still leading this race here, starting this race from the pole. And I'll tell you, this may bode well for him if we keep getting caution flags, but we don't want a caution fest, I guess you should say here, Bristol, but that's what we're getting so far here today. As we're 23 laps into the books, and still a good 52, oh fudge. And still a good 52 laps to go in this race. In this here at Bristol. But set the running order for you right now so far. It is Quentin Moore leading. Second position right now is Dylan Young. Third position is Charles Sanford. Fourth position at the moment is Keith Batson. Fifth right now is Cole Deaver. Sixth is Zach Winkle. Seventh position is Johnny Gardner. Eighth is Matt McIntyre. Ninth, Dylan Poteet. 10th is Seth Cole. 11th position right now belonging to Jay Jefferson. 12th is Phil Parker. 13th is Gene Sanford. 14th right now is Emmanuel Harden, damaged up back in an all. Paul Minnick, who started way back in about 38th in this race. He's now running in 15th at the moment. Nathan Orman, who started back in the 30s as well. He's in 16th position. 17th is Wes McCoy. Joshua Osborne's 18th. 19th right now is William Brock. 20th is Matt Haas. 21st, Kev Shear. 22nd is Henry Sanford. Levi McIntyre's 23rd. 24th right now is Zach Rogers. 25th is Jessica Shelton. 26th is Daniel Bouchard. 28th is RJ Bishop. 29th right now is Mitchell Collins. Actually, Mitchell Collins is actually 28. 29th is Jackson Haywood. 30th is Rob Evanson. Zachary Fitzwater, 31st. 32nd, Ryan George. 33rd, Mike Becker. 34th is Alex Miller. 35th is Ryan Brommer. 36th is Nathan Hudson. And then you got 37th is Austin Clown. 38th is Kat Batson. That's how they run right now. And 3 cars out of the race. That's Kyle Matthews, Jesse Turner, and the 14 car of Kyle Langland. Seriously, don't see how Kyle Matthews actually got involved in the crash right there. Actually, Matthews had a camshaft failure on his number 42 Meliella Pontiac, and that's why he's out of the race. Green flag out. We are back underway on lap number 27 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Dylan Young challenging for the lead on Quentin Moore. That's a pair of Buicks. They're 2 in the 26. Off the second turn here. Moore holding on for the moment here as they go into turn number 3. Cole Deaver, meantime, getting by Charles Sanford for 4th position right now. Seth Cole getting trapped behind Austin Colano in the 52 car. And what? Another crash has happened! And Cat Benson again upside down for the second time today. Matt Haas involved in the crash. McIntyre's got a bit of a hood buckle as well. Levi McIntyre. I thought I saw Shelton Spun come off the second corner, I thought. And she did get turned. Let's take a look again as to what happened. Shelton thought she could sneak by both Poteet and Gardner, and then Batson in the 21. Batson again gets off the wall while Hardness had saved his car. Then Shelton got hit by both Batson and Johnny Gardner. And those two spun. Now watch Batson in the 21. She squeezed both Zach Rogers and Danny Bouchard up into the wall. And the 21 car once again is going to have liftoff. Bouchard's actually flips first. Becker hits the 15 car of Jackson Haywood. And Haywood sends Batson again up in the air. And this time it sends her upside down for the... And remember in the first crash, Batson flipped quite a few times. And then she flips again through the third and fourth turns. If this does not put Batson on the race, I'm going to be surprised, to be honest. Because that poor little red and white 81 Thunderbird is about on its last legs, I would imagine, right now, if not dead. And indeed it is. D-E-D, dead. So Cat Batson falls out of the race, and so does the 8 car of Matt Haas and 75 of Danny Bouchard. Keith Batson is now currently the leader of the race here. What's happened to Quentin Moore? Zach Rogers on pit road right now. What happened to Quentin Moore in the 26 car? I would imagine he's fallen back a bit there after that little bit of a... No, Quentin Moore's out of the race. He's retired out of the race there. So something apparently has gone wrong with the Quaker State Buick. So Quentin Moore from the lead position has now fallen out of the race. Like we said, that's how brutal Bristol can be to everybody else. So, but that's going to hand the lead now to Keith Batson, the defending series champion. In the lead here, Cole Devers in second position, Charles Chambers third, fourth is Matt McIntyre, Dylan Young dropped the fifth, sixth is Jay Jefferson, seventh is Phil Parker, eighth is Gene Sanford, ninth is Seth Cole, and Emmanuel Hardner, who got turned on the backstretch before the big Holocaust happened, is currently in 10th. Pace cars' lights are off. Their average speed so far, a crawling 57.187 miles an hour. I don't know if we ever had an average speed of a race at less than 60 miles an hour. I don't know if we ever had that or not. I think we had a couple of short track races at average speeds of less than 70, but I don't think we even had one less than 60 so far. But this caution fest keeps up. We may have one below 60. I think this keeps up. We're not done yet, though. We are going to be caught green flag on lap number 36. We'll have 40 laps remaining. How long can this go on at Bristol? Keith Batson leads the race there. Second position is Cole Devers, we mentioned here. Let's see what let's give it on the 13 car. Gene Saber runs up on the back of that 13 machine quick. And that's going to trap Jefferson, Parker, and Osborne up on the high side, and same with several others. They go to turn number one for another lap. And Ryan goes to 13 again. And capturing 71. He and Ryan Barmer got together too. No caution. We're still green. On board with Keith Batson in car number 28. Looking right at the back bumper, that number 3 car of Cole Deaver. And the yellow flag flies once again. We saw the culprit right there. That's Henry Samper and the 15 car Jackson Haywood that have spun. And there is Henry Samper, 35 miles an hour on pit road. The caution, as caution number, I think that's caution number 5. That's happened here. And it was Henry Samper and the 29 car Zachary Fitzwater that got involved. There were 21st, 22nd. Now watch the 55 and 29 cars. This is going to get hairy here. Fitzwater gets right in the Levi McIntyre's car. Oh my God! And just about like we saw with Kat Batson earlier. Here, as she went way up in the air. So did Fitzwater. And look at the 47. Nathan Hudson drove underneath. He drove underneath Henry Samper's car and didn't even crash. Boy, they sure are daredevils in Britain, aren't they? I mean, we have got to see that again. We have got to see that again eventually, though. Let's first take a ride with Zachary Fitzwater. I may get a game crash in this, possibly. Now watch Henry Sanford, the 55 car again there. This is real time. Watch Hudson in the 47. Oh my God. Nathan Hudson had to be touched by an angel after all this. I mean, to drive underneath, and I swear to goodness, he did not miss Henry Sanford's flipping car, but I would imagine less than a foot. I mean, it was that flipping close. No pun intended. But pace cars are going to be off as we'll have 30 to go when this race restarts here. Again, it's Keith Batson, Cole Deaver, Matt McIntyre's up to 3rd position, 4th is Dylan Young, Charles Sanford's 5th. 6th position is Seth Cole. 7th position is Emmanuel Hartnett. Gene Samper's 8th. 9th is Paul Minnick. 10th is Jay Jefferson. With Parker, McCoy, Bishop, Winkle, and Rob Evans in the top 15 positions here. And again, the 13 car of Austin Colonna will be on the inside of the racetrack here. And so all in all, so far, 10 cars out of the race so far. Average speed still under 60 miles an hour, under 58 miles an hour, as a matter of fact, 57.8. Green flag back out. We're back underway on lap number 46. Gene Samper trapped behind the 13 car. Come off the 4th turn here. Yellow flag flash for the 6th time today here at Bristol. Jeez. And it's the 71 car of Kev Shear. He gets tangled up with Levi McIntyre in the 17 car, and then just proceeds to stuff Levi in the wall. And Johnny Gardner pancakes the side of that wall in a number 11 car. 33 car, Zach Rogers, coming back on the pit road. He's been in and out of pit road all day long so far. So 25 laps remaining is how much we're going to get this race restarted again. It'll be 24 to go when we get this race restarted here. 11 cars out of the race so far. As Zach Rogers is now finally out of the race, so because of a mechanical failure on this number 33 Skull Bandit Buick. So both of our front row starters out of the race right now. Keith Batson started this race back in, I think it was in 9th position. He so far has all but dominated this race so far. This race has only seen 2 leaders, he and Quentin Moore. As the green flag back out, we're backing away on lap number 52. Let's see if we can get a green flag run for once. I don't think we will, but... "13 car way up in the high side. This is not going to be pretty off that second turn. And 3 wide, Wes McCoy stuck in the middle of the 7 machine. Oh my gosh. And Wes McCoy gets turned around. Here we go. And I think that is our 6th, maybe, caution flag of the day at Bristol. Mike Becker, hood all crumpled up in the STP Pontiac. I knew when it got 3 wide, come out that 4th corner, I knew it was going to be trouble and there was 3 wide between Austin Colano, Wes McCoy, and Mitchell Collins. Seven and the 13 got together here. Collins escaped unscathed. So did Orman. Escaped barely, and then Osborne he just tapped the 7 car around. Several cars had to get on the brakes there, including the 44 car of Ryan George. He did a good job of getting on the brakes when he should. And the 13 and 43 car of Mike Becker, he was already damaged up before all this, but then Ryan George he came up and almost hit the 7 car again. I think I lost count of cautions after about 3 of them. Pace car lights are off again as we are about to get the green flag. It'll be lap number 60 when this race restarts here. This has been a long, long race here at Bristol, Tennessee. So green flag about to fly on the 60th lap here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It'll be Keith Batson leading. Second is Cole Deaver. Third position is Matt McIntyre and Dylan Young and Seth Cole, the top 5. Green flag back out. We're back underway here at Bristol. 13 cars been nothing but a nuisance all day long. I think most of the crashes we had so far have involved that 13 car. And I don't know how he's still running or not, but Sanford goes by. As he and Jefferson will run side by side. And here we go, another crash. And again, another one that caused by the 13 car. It's Ryan George and Joshua Osborne that has crashed. Crash happening on the 62nd lap here at Bristol. How many crashes have involved? I think about we had 7 caution flags so far, and I think 6 of them have involved that 13 car. Colano, I'm sure he's not making friends right now at any time. Paul Minnick, and Ryan George got together there and sends Ryan George around. Osborne, bam! Bam! Right in the 44. So does the 43 of Mike Becker and the 71 of Kev Shear also damaged up in that crash as well. Well, we might finally get a green flag run, I think, finally, because we are going to have no lap cars on the inside, finally. So, can we at least have a race to the finish here today at Bristol? We'll find out. I don't think we will, but Keith Batson leads the race here. He's been the dominant car all day long, but with the rash of caution flags we've had, no wonder. 20 Osborne and Rogers is out of the race there. The 13 car somehow still ticking. Somehow, average speed just barely over 55 miles an hour. Green flag about to fly here on lap number 68. Can we have 8 laps of racing here at Bristol? Well, I don't know. But the green flag about to fly here. We're back underway. It's lap number 68 with 8 laps remaining. Keith Batson leads the race here. Then Matt McIntyre, Cole Deaver, Dylan Young, and Seth Cole, the top 5. Matt McIntyre, keep up on the back of the Batson's cars. They come off the second turn here. McIntyre looks low on the track as they go to the third turn, and Matt McIntyre takes the lead. Here comes Dylan Young to the low side of Batson, looking for second place. He does not get it. Can Batson come back on McIntyre? Here he comes to the low side of McIntyre's car in the third turn, and Batson goes back to the lead. And here comes Dylan Young to the low side. That completes at number 70. 5 laps remaining. And don't count Seth Cole out just yet in the 52 machine. Seth Cole to second. 4 to go. Dylan Young trying to pull back on the inside of Cole as they go into turn number 3 here. Seth Cole keeps in second position at the moment. Can Keith Batson hold them all off? 3 to go. Ford in first, Pontiac second, Buick in third, Chevy in fourth, and a Chevy in fifth. Jefferson and a Pontiac is in sixth position. 2 laps to go at Bristol. Can Seth Cole get by Keith Batson? He's closing up just a little bit off the second corner. Off the fourth turn, white flag waves. 1 lap remaining here at Bristol. Seth Cole's closing up a little bit on Keith Batson's come off the second turn here. McIntyre in the third position now. During the third and fourth turns here, Seth looks to the low side, no dice, and Keith Batson wins at Bristol. What a finish to the Third City 500 as Keith Batson, the defending series champion, gets his first victory of season 25, and yes, 6 winners in the first 6 races of the season. He pretty much dominated this very event. I was beginning to wonder though if Matt McIntyre got past him for the win, or for the lead, I should say. I thought it was pretty much all over with the shouting, but it did pull off victory for Keith Batson, his first victory of the season. 6 winners in the first 6 races of the season here. Seth Cole comes home second. Third, we'll go to Matt McIntyre. Fourth to Rob Evans. And Dylan Young comes home in 5th. What a finish here in this event here today. Average speed under 60 miles an hour. No surprise. 58.418 the average speed of this race here. In what was a wild and woolly race in Bristol, no question about it. I said 75 was a short track madness, and I said I wasn't lying. So, Jay Jefferson, Zach Winkle, Gene Sanford, Cole Deaver, and Phil Parker the top 10. Then the rest of the finishing order: Dylan Pote 11, 12, Charles Sanford 13th, Nathan Ormond, who started this race I think back in the 30s. He finished in 13th position. R.J. Bishop 14th, Wes McCoy 15th, William Brock, Mitchell Collins, Emmanuel Hartnett, Jessica Shelton, 19th. And Kev Shear comes home in 20th. Paul Minnick, Johnny Gardner was 22nd. Ryan George, Alex Miller, Mike Becker, Levi McIntyre, Ryan Brommer, and Nathan Hudson, last car on the lead lap, finishing 20th. in Austin Colano. And I'm sure he made no friends today here at Bristol for sure. He ends up finishing 29th. Cars out of the race: Joshua Osborne, Zach Rogers, Jackson Haywood, Henry Sanford, Zachary Fitzwater, Quentin Moore. Shame for him because he had the dominant car in the first part of this race. Started for Napoleon, ends up finishing 35th after having high hopes for this race. Maybe Quentin will have better luck at North Wilkesboro the next race on the tour for sure. We'll see. Who knows? Matt Haas, Daniel Bouchard, Kat Batson, Kyle Matthews, Jesse Turner, and Kyle Langland all out of this race. So 13 cars, out of this race here today at Bristol. Actually, it was 12 cars, That will do it here today at Bristol Motor Speedway here. Keith Batson gets his first victory of the season in a total wreck fest of a demolition derby at Bristol Motor Speedway here to steal one of Brock Yates' lands. This is literally a short track stock car race for sure. So that will do it here today at Bristol Motor Speedway here. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports Gaming channel on YouTube. And be sure to like the page on Facebook as well. And you'll have a lot of things on it. You'll have everything on the channel. We got in-our races, we got gaming videos, we got in our online races, whenever the president of the NNSCRA Seth calls out for his channel. And be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series. I'm sure his series is a whole heck of a lot better than what I have to offer, without question. So that will do it today, Bristol Motor Speedway here. For now, this is James Colson. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Off on racing at its best. We will see you at North Wilkesboro.